Hey guys, it's Ricky Cicchini, the VP of Product here at Cloud Radial, and in this quick video, I'm going to be looking at specifically how ServiceAI helps technicians get to their answers much faster than what they traditionally would do. The situation is basically like this. Technicians have probably answered the majority of tickets that come through the service desk, but what we're seeing is that the answers and processes that those technicians have done are hard to fish up and follow for newer technicians. In other words, that expertise is basically buried in thousands of ticket notes and maybe some sparse documentation that people don't really have the time to dig through. The beauty of ServiceAI is that we're reading through all of it, every resolution, every workaround, every note that the techs have written, and it's going to be able to turn it into an instant and accurate answer. So it's going to take the cumulative knowledge of the team, it's going to keep adding to it, and it's going to become basically your AI superpower. So let's take a look at how it works. We're going to start inside of ServiceAI's web console here. And for the first part of this video, we're going to focus on kind of what a service desk manager might see. So I'm going to focus on how a ticket gets ingested into ServiceAI. So if we go to the tickets view over here, we'll take a look at a random ticket, say this VPN access issues by our technician Tevin. And what I want you to focus on is that as normal, right, the technician Tevin is going to be working on this ticket and we can kind of see the thread of conversation. Now, if I go and try to take a look at what the AI would do inside of this web console, I can hit the AI Chat Sandbox, and what it's actually doing is it's taking a look at all of the tickets and notes and documentation and putting together a response based off of how confident it is that it has the right answer. Now, you're going to see in a second that when it spits out the answer, it's going to not only show the exact response it would give, but it's also going to be able to source itself by showing the previous tickets it's pulled answers and processes from, as well as related articles. So what it's really doing here is it's giving a leg up to a technician without having to search Google. It's able to search obviously proven processes that work internally, especially if you have very proprietary things that affect specific clients. But remember, this is for kind of service desk managers. So if we can see it working here, the best way to do this in the field, if you will, is to put this directly in the PSA, which we can do for Autotask and ConnectWise. For other PSAs, it's not game over. You can still feed ServiceAI ticket numbers directly, and it will do this, so it will still use the sum knowledge. But let me show you the special trick here. So I'm going to go into ConnectWise here. And now we're going to flip the script and pretend we're a technician. So as a technician, I start to work on maybe the scanner not working ticket. And as I open it, we're going to be able to see that ServiceAI is loaded directly inside of the pod. And it's going to do the exact same thing, reference other tickets. It's going to pull documentation and knowledge and then serve it back up to me while I'm working on the ticket. In other words, I'm able as a technician to chat with ServiceAI, ask it follow-up questions, best practices, and get those answers right here from the benefit of not having to switch back and forth between the apps. We can see the summary view that shows me kind of the feel of the ticket from predicted CSATs to other AI summary bits. And we can also see what we saw inside of the web console, which is we can see why it sourced that information, and we can actually help to understand exactly where the service AI is pulling those answers from. And at a bigger scale, what happens is a technician can take this answer, kind of copy it over, paste it into the notes, and prune it up, right? Especially when you first start, you may notice that there's some slight inaccuracies or process improvements. Simply by putting this in here and changing a line or two or just pasting it in there, ServiceAI is going to learn from that, right? So the cleaner the notes are, the better future documentation future technicians have, the more robust that the answers are going to be. Not only that, there's also another really cool trick. So ServiceAI also has a few different modes to approach tickets. Not every ticket is obviously going to be as straightforward as a scanner throwing an error. So what can happen very easily too is we can change the context not only to answer the end user, but if we flip the script over here and change it to an agent answer mode, ServiceAI is also able to reinterpret the question into a technician kind of assistance mode. So now it's going to switch us to not just giving out an answer, but coaching the technician through the next steps and next information that it needs to gather in order to offer the best possible answer. So in general, this is something that's super, super useful. We see it, again, summarizing the answers of tens of thousands of tickets, putting it in front of the technician so that they can have that access instantly, saving them from again, errant Googling or trying to find non-standard processes. Even the responses that we have back inside of the web console can be modified. So if you don't like the tone, you want to make sure your technicians are sticking to a specific type of answer or cadence in the way they speak, or maybe you're passionate about them putting, say, a meeting link to meet with themselves. If the user is not happy with the text-based answer, you can go ahead and add your own rules in here. You can see that we've got our own example rules as well. So I can see that I've got a link to my support chats, and if we go back to here, it's embedded in here and it works just fine, right? So you have full control and capability to kind of play with not only the information that it gathers, which is again derived from your documentation and your tickets, but also the tone and the output as well. And like I said, it works inside of ConnectWise and also inside of Autotask in the exact same way. So in the same mechanism, we are feeding that ticket number directly into ServiceAI for those tickets. It spits out the answers, same exact process. And if it's not one of those two PSAs, again, no big deal. You can still take your ticket numbers and feed it directly into the sandbox. A little bit of an extra step, but same result. I hope this helped understand exactly how a technician benefits and gets those answers directly fed over to them, and I hope you give us a shot soon. Thank you so much.